Welcome back to Let's Clean PowerWash Simulator. I'm BurningDogFace, and we're here in the woods, where Bigfoot has made a real mess of this house. I've gotten rid of all the evidence that it was him by getting rid of all of the footprints on the ground. That still leaves all the crap he left in the walls, the roof, the railings. Oh, my screenshot app closed, so I lost my place. Here it is. Shout out to Derek Floyd, who says, Hasbro has been doing a collaborative line with other media franchises for a while, so a PowerWash Simulator X Transformers crossover would not be out of the question. It would be way down the list, though. I mean, you're probably not wrong about that. And shout out to Elthwar, who says, a PowerWash Simulator crossover with Transformers would be a bath service for them. I feel like for that one, following the messages would be the way to get to the achievement, as they tell you what to clean next. I like that a lot. Oh, yes, and on the same note, shout out to Justin Jones, who says, or you could have a Dr. PowerWash Transformer. His vehicle form is a van, and his robot form is him with his power washing equipment. Transform and power wash? Oh, I like that a lot. I do. And it reminds me of, I think they were official, that line of toys Transformers did that were like characters from other franchises. Where, the ones I remember most clearly were the Star Wars ones. I'm not even sure they did any other lines. But, I vividly remember, they had one that transformed from what was essentially a very strangely shaped Luke Skywalker action figure, and it transformed into Luke Skywalker's X-Wing fighter, which I thought was great. They also definitely had, Darth Vader, who turns into his own personal TIE fighter. I think there was a term for it, but I don't remember. And I want to say that they had one of Han Solo that turned into the Millennium Falcon, but I can't quite remember that visually, so I might just be trying to remember that because it sounds awesome. I had a moment like that when I was looking into Dead Space, where during the remaster I brought up a thing that happened in the original, only to learn after I finished the game I don't think that actually did happen that way in the original. I think that was just a case of either me going or someone on the internet going, hey, wouldn't it be cool if... It was, the room where you find the very unfortunate corpse and the audio logs from a man who blew off 3 out of 4 of his own limbs in order to prevent his body from being dangerous to anyone else after he died. Since the necromorphs are all about making you dangerous to other people after you die. Sadly, I don't think they really had a one-limbed slasher come around the corner when you got there in the original game. That was just a detail that would be cool. Oh no, it was still for nothing. In that particular case, I suppose then that the guy still being a body with a head and a arm, or did he blow his own head off? I can't remember. I mean, hey, you got one over on them. Stuck your thumb in the eye of the marker, metaphorically speaking. Dead Space would also make for some pretty interesting environments, even if they aren't quite as iconic as some, because, all of the environments in Dead Space are very similar. Very industrial and full of vague machinery we don't understand because it's 500 years in the future. course, the downside to doing a Dead Space level pack would be the necessary evil of having to clean wall meat off of the walls. Maybe not the thick, chunky stuff. Maybe stuff that's just like a thin layer where it can still be removed easily. Actually, wait, no, that doesn't make any sense. They said they had trouble getting that shit off with a flamethrower. What the fuck was that? I heard an odd noise in just my right headphone. Oh, right, I still need to get the outside surface. Oh, this railing. I was kind of hoping each segment like this would be its own thing. But no. You know what? Get the entire railing along the top. Keep going. Plus, I'm getting the shit behind it while I'm doing this. Oh god, it's like listening to a dog drink. Found out there's a game that takes a number of cues in this game, but I would not have expected the part where I think it's a horror game. Where it's more power washing, but the things you're power washing are in the back rooms. That whole mess of creepypasta. Fan work. You know, most of the time you're just cleaning graffiti off the walls, but every once in a while all hell breaks loose, a bunch of evil sigils appear on the wall, and you have to, like, dodge fireballs and shit while cleaning off the sigils to make the fireballs stop coming. Oops. I suppose exactly what you do with the Transformers license in this would depend on which one you're adapting. Like if it's the classic 80s series, you could have Dr. PowerWash need to clean up the room with the supercomputer in a Teletran 1. But I'm not even sure they ever used that idea after that series. I suppose they thought it was redundant, given that they are supercomputers. Always loved the detail from the, And yes, just the fact that I have read this, much less own this, does make me an enormous nerd. But the fucking novelization for, the first live-action Transformers movie from 2007 makes it abundantly clear that the reason the robots speak English is because, well, they didn't when they arrived, but then the first thing any of them does is tap into the local communication networks, despite their primitive stature, overcome all human security simultaneously, because it's just that easy, and, that wasn't sarcasm, by the way. They're like millions of years more advanced than us. And, yes, that's right. They each individually download the entire internet into their heads, and then sort through it, go, the language spoken by the most humans is this one. So then they actually try to address Shia LaBeouf and friends in Mandarin, because they're going numerically. I think they go like 2 or 3 down in the novelization before they finally reach English. They just skipped straight to the part where they hit the right language without explaining to you how they did that in the movie. I feel like the writer of the book cared more about the story than the director did. Mind you, I could absolutely believe that about Michael Bay. Since I heard a story a while back about the making of Armageddon, which he also directed. Where, they're between shots, they're just standing around, and, looped all the way around, nice. Sorry, yes, real talk, I completely forgot what the fuck I was talking about, and had to check the video to remind myself. Ahem. Yeah, it's between shots, they're, sort of kicking their boots in the dirt and waiting, and, Ben Affleck walks up to Michael Bay, and just says to him, "Hey, something's been bothering me. Why is it easier to train, deep drillers to be astronauts than it is to train astronauts to be deep drillers?" And Michael Bay just looks at Ben Affleck for a minute, sort of blank-faced, and then he responds, "Go fuck yourself," and goes back to what he was doing. Yeah. I do feel like that tells me everything I ever needed to know about Michael Bay's opinion of the story. I mean, at least the guy is willing to poke fun at himself. I remember seeing a commercial of him in it once that claimed to be at his house. And it's just full of, trophies of his own glories of the past. Like, fucking life-sized Bumblebee statue. Like the suits from Armageddon. And, I don't remember. I think it was like a signed picture of Sean Connery from The Rock. But, it also suggested that his house is just full of big red buttons that do absolutely nothing except trigger random explosions on the front yard and such, just because he likes to be able to set off explosions all the time. So yeah, poking fun at himself. The guy knows his reputation, and he is not ashamed of it. Might want to rethink the story thing, but yeah, that part I can respect. Oh, fucking railing. That meter doesn't even look half done. Fucking slats. Get the sides and the fucking underside of the railing and everything. Oh, maybe not the underside of the railing. Well, I did miss a spot there. Where are the extensions? Oh, Lord. More power. This shit. Moss, lichen, and dirt streaks. As opposed to the white spots on top of the house, which actually are shit. Very zen. Brought us slowly move forward and looking down. Oh. Well, that's weird. Where the hell did I start cleaning? Maybe here. Shame power washing wouldn't work in space. Oh, I mean, we went to Mars, sure, but Mars has an atmosphere. It's just a shitty atmosphere we can't breathe. You know, there's pressure there. I've brought this up before, but I really liked in Doom 3 how you wore a sealed helmet, but your arms were bare, because you weren't in a vacuum. You were just in a cloud of chemicals you couldn't breathe, so you just needed a face mask and air. Mind you, looking back, I think at least part of that might have been that id Software seems weirdly fixated on keeping your arms bare in that series. Since Doom 2016 gave you like a full fucking suit of power armor where you could barely see the guy's face at all through the visor, and which didn't expose any other part of his body. And then in Doom Eternal, which I still haven't gotten around to playing somehow, the armor gets a redesign, or maybe it's a different suit of armor or something, where it's much the same except they expose your biceps. Pretty sure the sun's in the same place. Oh, that's down there, sure. For a minute there I thought like the gap right here. I was like, oh, is that a plank completely covered in moss? No, it's just the bush behind it. Excuse me, stool. It is kind of nice to have no stakes for once in recent time. You know, I'm not like... assassinating figures that are in control of the destiny of millions. I'm not, like, changing the history of humanity by taking out its puppet masters. Fucking A, you look at, the main series. Even there, I'm off on a quest to determine the future and fate of the Jedi Order. See if I can get that ding right there for the end of the episode. Nice. I'm BurningDogFace, and ooh, 49%. Maybe I can do something real quick. I went to the outside of this railing. That'll help with the meter. Ah, there we go. 50%. Hell yeah. Oh, I got a bunch of the house behind it. How embarrassing. Oh, well, it'll all look clean in the end. It just sort of... I don't like doing that because I feel like it draws attention to the fact that I haven't fixed all of this yet. Having said that, let's just look out into this nice waterfall scene. I'm BurningDogFace, and I will see you on the next episode of Let's Clean PowerWash Simulator. Bit by bit, we are getting this done. Later!